Announcement is in the announcements channel.
Alright, let's take a look at that. Good shit. Yes, let's find out who killed Markiplier!
It's infinitely funny to me, by the way, whenever I'm in class and my phone goes off and it's just going Wumba Yumba Mumba Lumba! Everyone is like, what the fuck? I don't know why I find
everyone
that
turns to look at you.
Like, I don't know why I find that so ridiculously funny, but I do.
Because it is ridiculously funny.
That, that might just be the answer.
Right?
Oh, it's such a stupid meme, but it's so good.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Also, the people who filmed the Camp Rock video that I stole that from, they just finished reviewing every single Fred movie ever made. Which, you know, far be it from me to tell them how to spend their time, but I feel as though they could have done anything else, like watching paint dry, and it would have been a little more productive.
It's one of those, we watched all the Fred movies so you don't have to.
Exactly. I'm gonna be real, there was only one really funny moment in that video, though, and it's an hour long, but it's this one moment where Fred is like, his dad shows up and is like, we gotta move, and then and then Jude, one of the reviewers, she's looking at it like, he's about to get drafted, and then the scene cuts and he's him driving away in a Humvee, which is a military vehicle. And then it cuts to all the reviewers just laughing their asses off because of the prediction, and it's just really funny. I don't know, I have a stupid sense of humor, but I thought that was really funny.
I don't know what it is about some predictions, but like, them getting proven right just makes so much fun.
That was just so good. I'm gonna be excited for the next case after this. I don't know if you saw my DMs, but the next case is exceptionally short, so if we do this fast, which I'm not anticipating we will, we could move on to the next one, but I'd have to change the stream title.
Yeah, and also, like, you said that it was, like, heavy or something?
It's heavy, and it's kick-ass, and it really, honestly, compared to Recipe for a Turnabout, is so much more dramatic that I feel like playing the two of them next to each other is like watching, like, Macbeth and then watching fucking Something Rotten.
Is it very silly and meta?
The next case, no. Sorry, it's like watching Something Rotten and then watching Macbeth.
Okay, yeah, other way around.
Shut your mouth, lay down, and don't move for about 8 hours. Sip your fuck hole and close your eyes. Motherfucker, gonna get some sleep tonight. You'll have a pleasant Saturday if you do exactly what I say. Shut your mouth, lay down, and don't move for about 8 hours. Anyway, sorry.
Oh yeah, so I've been playing Stardew recently, and I just got my Iridium pickaxe by going deep into the Skull Cave. And I'm happy.
Wait. It just gives you an Iridium pickaxe?
No, the slimes drop Iridium, and then there's Iridium ore you can mine.
Oh. Yeah, that's how the Skull Cave goes. I have to get down to level 50 of the Skull Cave on my main file, and then I'll have officially done everything.
I've only gotten to like level 30 something, I think.
On your main?
On my main, yeah. Because
Oh, you mean of the Skull Cave? Jesus, I thought you meant like of your character, and I was like, bro.
Oh no, not the main. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Not the normal mines.
Let's mark some. Let's mark some A-pliers. Please share your screen with me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Share screen. Ace Attorney. There you go. We doing this. We doing this.
Let's commit some murder. Wait.
Other way around, honey.
I'm not Dahlia, I promise.
We need to change your sprite again.
Fuck. Just make my character look like Dahlia.
You know I'm gonna do that now.
I could make some great meta jokes about Dahlia, but I can't make them yet.
Eventually.
One day. Good morning, Mr. Wright!
I like how she does that like David.
Good morning, Vietnam! I have never actually watched that movie. I should. Good morning, Maggie. So what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well, and I ended on a giant mystery.
That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet.
Are you okay, Nick?
I just woke up, but, yeah, of course.
I saw that, the little flash of doubt in your eyes.
No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. I'm gonna go murder some of the underground.
Why don't I believe you?
It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that.
She also doesn't need you, evidently. Oh!
How did he know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway.
That's creepy.
Oh. Look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help.
Finally? Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Time to think of it. It does look like one of those aromatherapy bottles.
Phoenix, please.
Phoenix, we asked him to investigate this.
Oh, Phoenix.
SMH Phoenix, right?
Phoenix is doing me a stroke, as per usual.
This is the small bottle that turned up in Trebian's kitchen a couple days ago.
The one that you fucking found.
Wow, look at all those little bottles! I say in a flashback where I've apparently reversed puberty.
I don't know why my voice went up like 6 octaves for that line, but okay.
Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got this many. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Why did my voice drop 3 octaves for this?
Hey, wait a minute!
I just love we're butchering the fuck out of this game.
There's one of the bottles from... There's one bottle that's different from all the others.
I can't read and do voices at the same time, apparently.
Well, what do you know? And it doesn't even have a label on it either.
And it doesn't smell!
Don't snort that, please.
Don't snort that. You may go on an acid trip or die.
We finally got the analysis results back from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison? You wish.
I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Ear media... Media?
Medication?
It's ear medication. Excuse me. Medication?
Yeah,
Maya
for
doesn't
ears.
have...
Topical use only, apparently.
Maya has no brain anymore. I feel as though her brain has rotted out of her face.
It's been blended and juiced out of her ears.
Exactly.
For ears, you mean? Yeah, it's the medication Markiplier was using for the ruptured eardrum.
We only have to get through this case, and then you can stop tripping up on his name, or you could just use his actual fucking name.
Never. What was Markiplier's ear medication doing in the kitchen?
I'm not gonna stop you at this point. I'm in for the long run.
What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... It's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? You don't want no babies being made in court today.
Jesus. Please, before we continue, please tell me you actually know what the word impregnable means, and you were just making a dumb joke. Okay,
I'm just
good.
making a dumb joke.
Okay, I panicked for a second. I was like, I'm 80% sure he's joking, but that 20% is throwing me off.
I'm just all the 20% today, baby.
I was like, I was debating between saying 80 and 99%, and I was like, no, because I'm the writer here. So, yeah. That is great. That is a great joke everyone's made, though. Hey, it's me! Wait, I'm walking over here! I got my water, don't worry. I'm not gonna kill my voice doing this, guy.
I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done walking over here, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright.
We don't know if your name is Phoenix Wright. You were a faker.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Again. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Hey.
Ready and waiting, as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Thank you, Gatto, for not distracting us with your coffee again. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the victim's cup showed that the victim drank it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Come on, play the theme.
Yeah! Yes. Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world you see keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You lost me already, Mr. Godot.
Oh, God.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today.
I had a dream about a Gato roleplayer a couple nights ago. I don't know why. I very specifically had a dream about a Gato roleplayer that I have not talked to in, like, years. But I dreamed about them, and I woke up, and I was like, I want to talk to that person again.
What did they do that was, like, really notable?
Well, first of all, they were the only Gato roleplayer, which sucked. But two, they were not afraid to let Gato go apeshit on my Dahlia.
Oh,
like,
fun.
All the other... Because every other person who Dahlia went against was, like, a law-abiding citizen or whatever, and so they were like, yeah, we're gonna, you know, she's gonna break the law, and we're gonna have to beat her in a way that doesn't break the law, which is boring. But Gato was like, hey, I'm weird. I'm going to fucking murder her. I can't explain further, but yeah, her Gato was way more unhinged than the real Gato, for reasons that I will not get into because it's a lot of stuff, headcanon and whatever. And it was just good. I like it.
Will you tell me after we do all the game?
I'll tell you after we beat the game.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I loved that the Gato role player. If that person ever, I highly doubt that person will remember, but their username was Gatoism. And Gatoism, if you're watching this, I was of Poison and Justice. Hit me up. I'm still out here. Let's just be bros.
Oh well.
If that person ever gets this, I'd laugh. Anyways, sorry. I totally derailed the conversation. It's just seeing Gato's face made me think of that.
Wayback Machine, here we come.
I don't know if it's on the Wayback Machine. I think I looked it up and it was like barely there. Anyways, continue with the game while I go onto the Wayback Machine.
Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles?
Read the nameplate.
The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well, let the first witness take the stand. And you are... Oh, bonjour everyone! I'm Jean Armstrong, the owner and the best chef of La Trebian Restaurant. Enchanted!
How dare he exist?
Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman?
How many people are looking at this very bearded man and asking if he's a woman?
People who know to respect chosen pronouns.
You know what? Shut up.
I agree. I'm also regretting making that joke. Ooh la la, monsieur! As you can see, I am a proud and perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Trebian's kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur? Everything feels right. Huh. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy?
Never.
Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Trebian. Oui! Volunteers! When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with that new art decor that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps this is what the old man was looking at. The cup, the earpiece, and the glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no? A mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. The most enormous mirror.
Apparently, according to what I'm reading on the Wayback Machine, at some point we accused Gato of murdering Phoenix's daughter. I don't remember doing that, but that sounds like something I may have instigated by myself, and I don't recall this, but if someone were to tell me I'm the one who started it, it would not shock me.
I mean...
Anyways, I'm sorry.
His vengeance knows no bounds.
I have returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you, but first I'm gonna murder your fucking daughter.
He doesn't exist yet.
Nope. She technically does. I think? What? Yeah, sort of. She's confusing, and I don't know how to feel about her. Anyways, continue.
Is she like a crossover thing?
No, it's just that she doesn't exist. She wasn't written as a character until later, but she's technically the same age as Pearl.
Hmm.
Anyways, sorry.
And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Drink some fucking coffee, Phoenix. There's a man right there who has made 17 cups.
He has ample supply. You can just ask him for one, and he'll chuck it all the way across the courtroom for you. Yep. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
God, this man is so ugly.
When it all happens, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant.
I'm so excited for this man to disappear from my life.
And who were the 2 customers exactly? Why, of course, the young man who died, and the other, the not so young man.
Who everyone wishes had died.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
Poor Kudo.
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Oh!
What?
I just figured something out.
Excuse me, yeah?
So, you know how we thought that he was on that Mr. Kudo was on the table below the X, right?
Yeah?
Well, because of the mirror development, he could have then been sitting in the spot in the bottom left table. On the right side of the bottom left table. If he was sitting there and he saw the mirror's reflection, he wouldn't have seen the other person in the chair. He wouldn't have seen Phoenix's doppelganger.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's a possibility. Mr. Tigre, Tigger.
Tiggers know to read between the lines.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Their tops are made out of rubber. Their bottoms are made out of springs. They're bouncy, flouncy, bouncy, chancy, fun, 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 fun. And the most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Sorry. I don't know why I have that memorized, but I do.
Damn, you're making me want to rewatch Winnie the Pooh. What the fuck?
You know what I am so mad about? Every time I visit my grandparents, I see that they still own the VHS for the Tigger movie. And, there's this stupid part of the back of my brain that's like, I want to watch that.
Borrow it.
I don't have a VHS player!
Borrow theirs.
Oh my god. You know, I'm pretty sure the Tigger movie is on Disney Plus because the Winnie the Pooh is a Disney-owned thing. That
is true. It could be there. I'll have to check after.
This is quite a weird conversation. It's just a Frenchman trying to implicate Maggie for murder, and we're talking about Tigger. Oh, okay. We're good.
Remember I was experimenting with some new articles today. You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today?
Phoenix.
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur.
Speaking of interior design...
Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago.
John, you dick!
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoction?
What? Deco shirt?
No, Art Deco. It's a style of design, Your Honor.
Deco.
He's talking about interior design.
Ew!
What?
Ew, I just looked up what Art Deco is and it's gross. Ew,
What is
it's
it?
ugly. Who
What is
wants this shit? It looks like the outside of the Empire State Building, but like uglier. Oh, it's awful. I sent it to you. Oh, this one's not bad, but it's still not good. No, it's ugly. I don't like it. Speaking of interior design, though, every time I think about getting my own apartment, the only thing that comes to mind is sectional! Get a sectional!
What?
I don't know. I just want to have a sectional in my apartment when I have one.
What's a sectional?
It's like a you know those couches that like fit perfectly into the
Oh,
corner?
yeah.
That's a sectional. I want one so bad. They're so weird and cool. They're so cool, but like I want one so bad, and I'm never gonna get one because they're so goddamn expensive. But I want a sectional for my building.
And also, I just found out that a decoction, the thing that the judge was talking about, isn't alcohol.
The judge is an alcoholic,
A
confirmed.
concentrated liquor resulting from heating or boiling a substance, especially a medical preparation made from a plant.
Look at that sectional that I just sent you and tell me that you don't want one in your house. That thing looks awesome. I want one so bad for my apartment. If I ever get an apartment, that's what I want. I don't want normal chairs and shit. I just want a giant sectional.
Honestly,
No, you know what I...
thinking
You know what
about
I want?
how,
I want to get...
thinking about how to get that to fit in my house is a panic attack and a half.
The only... You know what I want? I want to get
Not a
2
panic
sectionals that I can put to... I want to get 4 sectionals I can put together into a square of chairs.
Thunderdome! Thunderdome!
Thunderdome! Thunderdome! This is the least comprehensive thing we've ever talked about. Where the fuck is my emery board? There it is.
He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing.
Sectionals.
Ah, yes, of course, that deco. I was trying to achieve the more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of the decor. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Oof, something about 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high.
Together that makes 6 meters. That's more than you need for social distancing. Holy glass in a frame, Batman, that's huge.
Let's see. If 1 meter is about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame, Batman, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The
That would
ceiling?
be...
Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
That seems extremely dangerous.
Not only is it dangerous, but it undermines the reason that there are like those privacy blockers in between the tables in the first place. Because all you have to do is just look up at the thing, and you can see into like every section.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Yeah, I want to know more about the mirror. That's the most important thing so far. If we really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But...
Objection!
You didn't ask, Trat. You only have yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
Oh, shut up, Gato.
What? A mirror was delivered to Trebien the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror at the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trebien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Ha! If you want to doubt someone, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Oh, whoa. I have no idea if that song actually applies here, but you know.
The section that you sang does. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Sorry, hang on, I just realized a Tom Cardy song that fits perfectly with the concept we were talking about the mirror ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cover of that song, but he parodied it. And it's, I always feel like somebody's watching me eat. I'll put it in the memes chat.
Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. Oh. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally? How does normally come into this? That's lame, Trat, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there?
Fuck you, my top knot goes off!
And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here, will Trat? Not the hair.
I do not have a top knot! Yes, objectively you do.
Mr. Godot is objectively correct. A lack of normalcy is no basis for discounting an argument. Bien! Logic has won la day! La cup, la earpiece, and the glasses. You would have seen everything in reverse, no? Everything? You would have seen everything in reverse. Oui.
Hey Nick, we should take a second and think about what old Seedy said in his testimony.
How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing this earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
If he saw everything described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh?
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess, or does it? Ha! It's kind of hard to believe everything is the fault of a mirror, but...
Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection?
If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony, but that just makes the situation...
But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie! There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper. You gotta dig a little deeper. For you, it's gonna be tough. You gotta dig a little deeper. You ain't dug near far enough. Sorry.
When it all happens, there were 2 customers in my restaurant. Oh wait, that's back to them. Okay.
We're at the beginning. Don't forget it's been a week, so you might want to look at your evidence.
Yep. So it's hard to tell with the perspective here.
Sorry, I'm distracted by Markiplier's shoes because they're reminding me of the fact that in college Phoenix had shoes that had P and W on them.
Where was this from?
Oh, it's a full body image. Let me get it. It's a really friggin' funny image.
I can't tell if that's supposed to be his ear on top or if that's like the back of his shirt.
I could not tell you. Why did I click on Phoenix's crotch? Alright. There's the image. Look at his shoes. They say PW and it's great.
Oh, they do!
Yeah. Also, unrelated, but here's a DLC costume he has in one of the later games.
Nice.
He's the tiger!
La tigre.
La tigre.
Ooh. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
What in the fuck was that sound?
I was blowing my nose.
Oh, okay.
The boy was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactamente, you see, monsieur. Now that you think about this, it's not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order, order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been moved over to his right eye. How bitter. Try it, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down and wake you up in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. Ah, how he thinks. You remember this, I presume. The I broke the vase, sorry apology. I mean Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. That old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Plier? Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man.
I love how you started switching between Mr. Plier and Mr. Elg. It's really funny.
If I'm doing that, I'm doing it unconsciously, because I'm trying to do a Plier.
No, I know, it's just really funny to me.
I saw the earpiece and the newfangled spectacles he was wearing.
Gatto making fun of an old man is my aesthetic.
Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. No, sorry, he's doing the impression still. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, you hear? His left ear.
You know what he sounds like? He sounds like, Hey, I am a cop!
up, and you will respect my authority. That guy from South Park.
Nice.
Sorry.
Well, Trap, are you respecting my authority now? That is the worst but best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I really thought he was old C for a minute there. God, it was good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction. Just found it. You found it's just a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go ahead, tell the court we're all ears. Oui, I can explain, please, if you would look at the plans of the restaurant.
The mirror. La mirror.
Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror, it was in the middle of a restaurant, dividing the two elves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was at the table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror away. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
Okay, well, no, you did, but okay.
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have da-da-da-da-da. What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Qu'est-ce que c'est, buddy? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course! Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please.
We're coming so close to the end of this man's existence. I'm so excited.
The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two elves.
You can cross-examine. I'm gonna go pee because I've had so much goddamn water today.
Alright. Glad you're staying hydrated.
Hydration is important, kids. Drink some water.
So run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? Whee! Wee? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Look who's talking, Trat. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But this is my seat in the courtroom. Trebien's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trat. I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was there, in the middle of the restaurant. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. And where would that be? Ooh la la! Look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones too, you know, handsome. Shall I tease you too? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? My monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you'll understand. The victim would have been affected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting in the table next to him, you would see everything, no? So that's the seat that old City was sitting in on that day, when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kinda odd? After a terrible incident in the car, I moved the mirror so it was not the way. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police? Oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant. Then. You moved a mirror like that all by yourself? What can I say? I know how to pick things up, Ansel. Gato actually laughed at something. Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it is possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong? I look like the obliging type, no? But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Are you sure about that? I touched nothing else except for the mirror. Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene? Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on it. Ha! Suffering from a case of heartburn, right? Oh, I have the thing for that. An oil with the golden myrrh and frankincense. Add a few drops to your coffee and voila! Enjoy. Food poisoning. Focus, Phoenix, breathe. I just need to ignore those two and just find some evidence. It's pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old City. And the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Trebian that day. And I've just gotta prove it somehow.
I forgot to mention my aunt may not be able to pick you up after all.
Oh shit.
But I have other family members, so...
Okay, yeah, keep me posted. Because,
I will.
Yeah, if not, I'm gonna have to look for a hotel nearby or something.
I didn't have to mention that live on stream, but I did anyways.
That's fine.
Anyways, yeah, I'm good.
So they said that we have to prove that the mirror wasn't there, but I have evidence for like something completely different, which is that he didn't touch anything else.
Yeah, no, but it's easy to prove how the mirror wasn't there. It is raining like a bitch out, and I want to go to the gym just so I can sit in the hot tub and sleep. I'm so cold.
This was taken after the fact. Nothing over here, I believe, is, yeah, relevant to the mirror.
Okay, I looked up recipe for a turnabout transcript, and one of the things it says others like me who viewed this viewed is Magnus McGilded, and I'm angry about it. How dare you? I don't want to think about that awful human being.
Oh, hold on. I think I know how we can prove that, but I have to present two pieces of evidence at the same time.
Do you?
Yeah, because look at, where it is. Victor's testimony. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase of my seat. I'm sorry. Now they're trying to prove that he was in this seat.
Well, okay, so this is one of the things that the game poorly explains, and I don't think it ever explains it in any of the 3 games, so I'm just going to cut you some slack. There are multiple ways to do this. You only have to present one of 2 because both prove the point.
Okay.
If you present the crime scene photo, then you prove that Victor, who knocked over the thing, wasn't sitting at that seat. And if you present the testimony, it proves that Victor wasn't sitting at that seat because what he says doesn't align with the picture.
Okay, so either work. Awesome.
Yeah. That's not the right one. Whoops.
Witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
There are also 2 places you can present both of those evidences. That just wasn't one of them.
Oh. And I was gonna do this. Oh. Oh. It's the other way. There we go. Your Honor, Mr. Kudo's words yesterday strongly contradict Mr. Armstrong's testimony. This is the letter of apology that was written by Mr. Kudo, is it not? I realize that this looks useless, Your Honor, but this is still testimony. Ha! I guess useless people are only really good at identifying useless things. What relevance does this scrap of paper have to the trial, Mr. Wright? Mr. Kudo's testimony is actually very relevant to the question at hand, Your Honor. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Ah, there we go. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. But what on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Ha, sounds like you're describing yourself, Mr. Wright. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is something that should not exist in this photo?
Yeah, you're smart. Smart boy, smart lad.
I got sleep last night.
Yay! I've
Yay.
been debating making coffee, but no, I don't need to be more wired.
There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting, and yet the court, as the court you can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, Trot. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen from the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trebienne that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, Trot. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong was already testified to the court already in his own words. I did not touch anything else except for the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There's no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear from which he couldn't hear? Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trot, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
No, but I'll bluff it anyway. There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
Shit.
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Clearly, Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Mr. Trot, you're the one who brought up all these contradictions. And if you're trying to tell us the old man just made a mistake, we can wrap this case up right now with a guilty verdict. How about it, Mr. Wright? Should I just declare your client guilty? Oh. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I was the one who made the mistake. I'll give you one more chance, Mr. Wright. Think carefully before you answer this time. The reason behind the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there's one very small answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Markiplier at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Plier. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Order! Order in the court! Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Trot, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Markiplier and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. all for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Trot. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a Javicino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at that time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Trebian that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events of the restaurant that day. Oui. The victim, Monsieur Plier, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got well, he won the lottery. Moel became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting. Just so we're clear.
I'm so fucking cold! And I can't turn my apartment up because it's already at 23 out there, and my roommates and my landlord will get mad at me if I turn the heat up any further, but I'm going to fucking freeze to death, and I'm mad about it.
Are you able to put on more layers?
I mean, I don't want to, but I have like 4 hoodies I guess I could put on. Give me a sec.
Okay. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Je vous demande pardon, forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Oui. For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. The victim, Monsieur Plier, he came to my restaurant alone. Was he alone at his table as well? Why, oui. I saw him from my kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection!
Ha! Unfortunately for you, Trot, yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet vibe. What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna ruin this whole game for you by my evil laughing. It's not coffee, it's love! It's love that's bittersweet. I'm choking myself with my fucking necklace.
Is it a spoiler thing that made you evil laugh?
Yes.
Okay.
This entire case has been giving me so many spoilers that it makes me want to, like, implode.
Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden.
Maya is not wise.
I remember the old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oui, he comes for my special coffee. I drank your coffee, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. You make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more.
Aww.
So, old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived? Oui, that is correct. But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. By your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed? Let me see, approximately 2 minutes, I would say. 2 minutes? That's all? It seems unlikely that something untoward could have happened in such a short time. Rats, I knew I should never proceed this line of questioning. There were no other customers. So your only customers were Victor Kudo and the victim. How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trat?
It's called confirmation, you fucking twink.
You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee if you catch my drift.
I mean, I'm sure you could. It would just be really shitty coffee.
Yeah, probably. But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it. When they got word he won the lottery, Markiplier became very excited.
You seem like you're too tired to do this accent all of a sudden.
Just let me get closer to the mic. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred.
Sit up straight and open your eyes and stop yawning and we'll be good.